You sneaky. You're running as an outsider.
I am an outsider.
Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Come on. Come on. Really?
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly.
Let's give the people what they came for.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Mr. Prime Minister, will there always be a Canada? There will always be a Canada. All right, elbows out, elbows up.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here! Get them out of here! Get the hell out of here!
Enough with the woke shit.
So the answer to that is to stop being stupid.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Is the federal government stealing from us? Are they sabotaging our industry? Are they taking us down the path to communism? Are they censoring us? Are they stealing our guns from us? Come on, let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Knockout!
Hola, muchachos. El Presidente Trumpo coming to you live on Friday for Friday Night Fringe. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday evening. Of course, joining me as always is Mrs. Fringe. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about here tonight. We got to talk about the new pipeline that's coming from Mark Carney. Apparently, they didn't get the memo from El Presidente. We know what we did with Maduro in Venezuela, and Mark Carney wants to keep fucking aroundo, so he's about to find out-o. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going to happen in Canada because no deal has been made. Nothing good has happened in Canada, and you're not going to believe the situation as we move forward. It's going to be wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a great night. I hope you're ready for Friday. It's going to be a crazy show. It's probably going to go longer than normal because we have a lot.
Just a few tabs open.
A lot to unpack, a lot to talk about. And there's going to be people who are mad at me no matter what happens because it seems like if I criticize the premier, I'm told, you're not being nice to Danielle. And if I don't criticize Premier Smith, I'm told, you're just a paid shill for Danielle. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. So let the show begin. I hope you guys are having a great week. As I said at the beginning of the show, it's going to be great. We're going to have a wonderful Friday night. Lots of margaritas and sexy mamacitas, okay? It's going to be a wonderful show. Let's get a roll call in. Let's see where everybody's watching from. And then we're going to get started, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a wonderful show. Look at this. Right off the bat, we got William coming in from Ohio. Love to see it. David Brewer's joining us from Springfield. Mike J. Tay's coming in from Kirkland, Washington, as always. John's joining us from Rimby. Welcome in. It's good to have you here. We got Shadow Chaser coming in from Swisher County, Texas. Gotta love Texas. Wow. Everything's bigger in Texas, ladies and gentlemen. I love Texas. I love our American viewers. We got Mike coming in from Ampere, Ontario. Welcome in. It's good to have you here. We've got Don coming in from Wayuega, Wisconsin. Try saying that 10 times fast.
Right? I couldn't say it once.
We've got Digger. I have to say that very carefully with YouTube. And Tracy coming in from Rocky View, Alberta. Good to have you here. We got Squid coming in from Glorious Cowtown in Calgary. Mystic Meows coming in from Calgary as well. Nelson Cade is joining us from New Brunswick. We've got Bored Canadian coming in from Smith. Welcome in. It's good to have you here. We've got Feisty Fry joining from Calgary. Once again, Mystical's still on the roof. Carol and Gerald are joining us from Calgary. Hockey Fans is coming in from Calgary. Major Flip is joining us from Johnson City, Tennessee, welcome in. Good to have you here again. We've got Chris coming in from Airdrie, Alberta. Harold coming in from Wisconsin. Rob Hildebrand's joining us from Bentley. Nina Falima coming in from Red Deer. Jamie's joining us from Montana. We've got Judith Taylor joining us from Cochrane. How walking Campbell's cat joining us from Saskatchewan. You crazy. We got Monica coming in from Nova Scotia. Harley Squirrel Nuts is joining us from Rocky Mountain House. We got Queenstown Kid coming in from Vulcan, Alberta. Ingrid coming in from Bragg Creek. We got the Political Italian watching from Florida. Gotta love Florida. I gotta say, I love Florida. It's a wonderful state. I don't know if you know, Mar-a-Lago's there. It's wonderful. Great place. Lots of good golfing. We got Dead Winter coming in from Conifer, Colorado. Welcome in. We've got Clinton El Hiriu coming in from North Buck Lake. Welcome in. Good to see you here. Lori Jean joining us as well. Ruth coming in from Calgary. We've got Wereborg coming in from Gulfport, Mississippi. Marianne Drinkwater's coming in from Calgary. Eugene is joining us from Gleason, Alberta. CB Fixes All here from the No Pipeline for You. CB, it's always good to see you. You know, CB does a lot of work in the background, okay? CB, yes. I couldn't do the show without him and many others. He's wonderful, I got to be honest. Nobody quite likes CB. Bigly. He's always doing bigly work in the background. I know a lot of people in this community, none quite like CB, okay? Let me get a few more out of the way and then we'll get started. Austin coming in from Calgary. Lynn's joining us from Calgary. NHL Crazy watching from the city of brotherly love in Philadelphia. We got Throlin coming in from Lacombe. Unknowns joining us from Texas. Quantum's coming in from Pasadena, California. Boy, we got to talk about California tonight too. Jeff McKenzie's coming in from Spruce as well. Lauren joining us from Gunn while my children are murdering each other.
It's like 6 minutes in and it's just started.
You know, it's so funny because every week we have this discussion with the kids. This is when mom and dad are working, try and get along. And of course, right when it starts, as soon as we leave the room, the knives come out. Gotta love it. Lynn coming in with a $7 super. I'm on vacation, but there's no way I'm missing your show.
I love that.
I hope you're having a great vacation. I've had to cancel summer plans this year. Yeah. Because all this crazy stuff that's going on YouTube, if you take time off, you're done. Our views have been chopped in half this month. The algorithm does not like anybody talking about Alberta, but guess what, YouTube? We're doing it tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. It helps bring people in here. It helps tell people this is where to be. So make sure to hit that thumbs up button as we get into the stream. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 likes by the end of it. We got Tammy coming in with a 279 super as well. Thank you so much, Tammy. You're fabulous. Everybody here is fabulous. Look at Luca jumping in right when I'm about to get started on the show. Can't match Dutchie with the funds. Try. Mark Nixon gave you some props and had your back in one of his videos this week.
We did watch that.
We saw that. It was very nice of Mark.
Yes.
And what sucks is I have to pick on Mark tonight.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fun. I like Mark. He's a friend. He's wonderful. I know a lot of YouTubers, okay? Many YouTubers. Nobody knows as many YouTubers as I do. But Mark, one of the good ones. But tonight, Mark, I'm sorry, you're fired. Okay? We're going to talk about it. All in good fun, folks. Stick with us because before we get started, of course, we have to get to the memes. That's what everybody comes here for on Friday night is the memes.
That is the whole point of a Friday night, right?
It is the point of a Friday night. So let's get to the memes. Starting right off the bat, our good friend, El Presidente Trumpo. Here we go, coming in. He made his trip to China this week. And of course, he had to talk about everything going on in China. Let's take a listen to El Presidente.
Konnichiwa, my dear Chinese amigos. Your favorite president is here in China. I'm here to meet with your lovely dictator Xi, great friend of mine, a bit of a party pooper. I told him he was the Kung Flu Panda one time, and he didn't even smile. And when I ask him for McDonald's and a Diet Coke, he offers me tea and friggin' sushi, or whatever it is you guys eat here in China, probably dogs, like Somalis in Ohio. Anyway, thank you for inviting me to your lovely country. Remember to keep spraying Lysol in Wuhan. We don't want another fake virus to come from China. Anyway, arigato, bitches.
Good old El Presidente coming in. El Presidente Trumpo. Coming in from China. I don't know if you guys noticed from China. We love that one. I wanted to show this one, even though it's not really a funny meme. Michael Harris had this this week when talking about what happened in Alberta. Let's go over this really quick. The Schrodinger's Alberta. If you know about Schrodinger's cat, this one's going to resonate with you. So you've got Canada saying Alberta is free and equal in confederation. The other one comes in and says, cool, can Alberta leave the box? No, that would be dangerous and divisive. So Alberta is free until it tries to act free. Alberta pops out and says, well, can we at least vote on it? Canada has a fit and says, this is an attack on democracy. Schrodinger's province, free and not free at the same time. I don't know any truer words that could be spoken. This is insane. And what we're about to see in Alberta as the attacks ramp up is going to be crazy, but it's one we had to share with the chat. This definitely was one that I thought resonated with what's happened in Alberta this week. And again, the attacks are going to continue until morale improves. Let's continue with the memes. If you're in California, we got to talk about Karen Bass, who's running she's running on her accomplishments, apparently. Let's take a look at her latest campaign ad.
I'm Karen Bass, and I'm running on my accomplishments.
Los Angeles on fire. Mayor nowhere to be found.
We were so prepared for wildfires. I didn't even have to be in the country when the town burned. I've addressed the homeless problem. Now, most of them won't stab you as long as you don't make eye contact. Our climate change policy is so strong, we've brought down energy use in the Palisades by 99%. Almost none of the needles in children's playgrounds have AIDS on them. If you like the last 4 years, you're going to love the next 4. Vote Bass.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening. Karen Bass is not Karen Bass is not winning the next election. In fact, there was a viral moment with Spencer Pratt, who came out about Karen Bass this week. I thought it was hilarious. Speaking of hilarious, have you guys ever had one of those days where you got to call into work sick? This is genius. If you're ever looking to call in sick, here's the best way to do it. This lady's calling in and making sure that her story at least lines up with her work as she calls in to give her emergency. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm at the hospital and I'm not going to be able to come in today. They're running tests right now. They're doing an IV, and I will let y'all know what's going on with me once I leave the hospital. Yeah, I'm at the hospital and I'm not going to be able to come in today.
It lines up perfectly.
I kind of see a lot of people using this as a little trick.
I think it's a good trick. I think it's good. She should have done it like really fast, so it sounded like she was flatlining.
Having a heart attack.
And that would have been perfect. Oh no, I gotta go, beep. Just like a big flatline beep. I think that would have been a good one. Speaking of Trump and his trip to China, this one was sent by my good friend Dan. Trump gives President Xi a pot of honey from the White House beehive. There's good old Winnie the Pooh getting some honey from El Presidente Trumpo. I love it. Carson, El Gringo Grande, sent me this one. I thought it was great. Talking about Mark Carney this week. This is how the Elbows Up community sounds. It's a meme, but it's almost not, because it's almost the way that it actually is in reality.
This is how they're thinking, isn't it?
If you ask the Elbozos, what's your opinion on Mark Carney? I think he's amazing. My truck used to hold $59 of gas. Now it holds $120 of gas. I don't know how he did it, but he's amazing, and I plan on voting for him again. I think that's what we're going to continue seeing, isn't it? You can't fix retarded.
It seems a little believable.
As Peter Griffin says, oh my God, that guy's retarded. He's completely retarded. Now, the next two that we have at the end of our memes, because I think that's the wrap up of our memes, because we had a lot to talk about again. More just fun for everybody on the channel. If you guys watch our Friday or our Monday and Wednesday streams, you'll notice on Wednesdays, my co-host Matt has come in, and I always talk about how I've known Matt for a good portion of my life. Yeah. Matt and I have known each other
longer
forever.
than we've known each other.
Forever.
Yes.
Since we were kids. What's funny is Matt posted some funny pictures on his socials this week, and I thought, hey, let's share it. So everybody in the chat knows how Matt looks.
He didn't show his Facebook.
Here's Matt. Here is Matt circa 1993, when him and I were in high school together, or at least the end of junior high going into high school. Here is Matt circa 1993, alongside the Fringe, same year.
You still have that jersey.
Who knew all these years later, these two individuals would be talking to you guys about politics,
right?
On YouTube. I thought it was kind of funny.
That's cute.
I think because everybody sees Matt with his beard and a little older. We're always showing our age, but there's some circa 1993, some good old flashbacks, some good retro Fringe for you guys here on the channel. Somebody says the NHL lost out. Yeah, I used to be a bit of a goon when I played hockey. In fact, my father used to yell at me in the car because my hockey coach used to point and say, "See that guy on the ice?
I want him out.
I want him out. I don't want him playing anymore." Sure enough, the Fringe took care of it. And my father would say, "I don't pay all this money for you to play hockey to sit in the penalty box all day."
Yeah, well, your coach liked it. So.
Hey, we did our jobs. We did our jobs. I used to love playing hockey. Still do. I got to get rid of some of these tabs. We got so much on the go tonight. So much to talk
I missed
about.
all the memes.
You saw them before the show, though. That's what counts. That's what counts. It's a little bit of humor before we get into what we really have to talk about. And I know there's probably some people who are really upset after today. And it's funny because we ran into a viewer yesterday.
We ran into two actually, but
viewers.
we had a good chat with one.
One of the viewers we had a really long chat with in Spruce.
The call from the school.
I don't want to name names because I don't know if they want me to, but we had a very long chat with one of our viewers that recognized us in a parking lot. And we were talking about today's announcement.
Yes.
I forewarned them that, look, Danielle's coming out tomorrow. She's going to announce a pipeline. And everybody's going to be mad. Everybody's going to be upset. And here's where I said before the stream, people are either going to be mad at me or they're going to be mad at me. Because people are going to think I'm patting Danielle, and I'm not.
Nope.
Because later on, people are going to think I'm attacking Danielle. I had viewers actually reach out to me this week in the comment section saying, you know, I really like your show, but you're so harsh on Danielle Smith.
Oh.
I talk to Danielle and her people almost bi-weekly, and they do not have a problem with the takes on the Fringe. No. They certainly don't have a problem with the criticism that comes to Danielle Smith. In fact, what you guys don't realize, and what I would like our viewers to maybe take in to realize, is that when they watch the shows, when they come in and read the comment sections, they actually use that to understand how constituents feel about the job that they're doing or about the situations that are in front of them. So it's important that we criticize. I don't hate Danielle. Again, I speak with them regularly. I don't have a problem with them. So let's get into what's happened this week, because Danielle Smith and Mark Carney come out today, again, announcing this pipeline, the supposed pipeline. And now's where Mark Nixon's going to get mad at me because I got to pick on Mark Nixon. I get real sick and tired when people don't understand what they're talking about. And I don't know if this was posted just to get the clicks or to get engagement or what it was. But you can see here Mark Nixon saying, Alberta got a pipeline and capacity increase. 1 million barrels headed to Asia once complete. Danielle Smith delivered.
Unless this is like sarcasm, it's very opposite.
Danielle Smith delivered? Alberta, we did it. Drill, baby, drill. So Mark lives in BC. I'm going to pretend he just doesn't know what's going on in Alberta. I don't want to be mean to Mark because, again, I consider him a friend.
Yes.
I'm very grateful.
Great guy.
Very grateful he stuck up for the Fringe this week about the CBC stuff. But here's what I said to him. We didn't get anything. Have they announced when production of the pipeline begins? I heard possibly by September of 2027. And that's what people have to realize. Take a look at this image from Danielle Smith's own socials. New oil pipeline, construction as early as September 1st, 2027. Here's the problem. There's no date for boots on the ground. There's no announcement. People keep saying it's sarcasm. I hope so.
I really do. Yeah.
I hope so. I can't tell. So when you look at the construction as early as September 1st of 2027, this is nothing more than a carrot on a stick. It's the same as the MOU in November. It's, hey guys, we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something. But while that happens, we have to increase the industrial carbon tax. We have to talk about green energy. We have to talk about emissions caps. We have to talk about all these initiatives. We have to talk about pathways, which, by the way, we'll get into pathways a little bit later in the stream, because Brookfield benefits, what is it, $16.5 billion through pathways if Alberta does this project. Keep in mind, Brookfield is Mark Carney's.
Shocking.
16.5.
Shocking that this is going to benefit him in a way.
$16.5 billion with a B. This is all for Mark Carney.
Yep.
And his stock portfolio. It's the same thing he did when he was in charge in England. He's pushing us into the ground. So, hey, everybody, we're going to get a pipeline. No, we're not. Nothing's going to get built.
Nope.
Nothing will get built.
Because didn't the premier from BC come out?
I'm glad you asked about that. Here's Corey Morgan, because they talked about surveys they're going to have to do. They're going to have to look into things again and do consultations and everything else. Here's Corey Morgan saying the Northern Gateway Pipeline project already did all the groundwork. The rivers and mountains are in the same place. The studies don't need to be done again. Just say yes and get on with it, or admit a new pipeline is never happening. And that's what the case is. By the way, here's Brookfield's stock today after the Pathways announcement was made. And what do you see here? 2 p.m., which is roughly noon our time. Keep in mind, this is the TSX, so they're 2 hours ahead of us. You can see here it took a massive dip. The announcement was made at noon Alberta time. Look at this. Up, 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 up. Now, it only went up about 2 points, or 1.5 points. But as soon as Pathways was announced, the stock goes up. This is to benefit Mark Carney, not Alberta. This is the new energy, the National Energy Program all over again. Here's David Eby. Here's how you know nothing is going to get built. David Eby comes in and says it cannot be the case that the projects that get prioritized in Canada are those with a premier who threatens to leave the country. Next week, I'll be meeting with the Prime Minister to bring him a list of projects we can work on for the benefit of all Canadians.
Oh, yeah, not Alberta.
So David Eby is going to come in and whip it out for Mark Carney and say, hey, how come Alberta gets things? We want things. You can't do that without giving it to us. This is like kids screaming at their parents. How come he got something? I want something too.
He got more than me.
This dude is running his career into the ground, by the way.
Oh.
He's cratering. Absolutely cratering. He's a hack. And now he's going to go whine to Mark Carney about how Alberta got things just because they're threatening to leave. And I said this, I got actually a tizzy with one of our viewers today who said, because I said, this isn't just about a pipeline. And they said, no, it's not about a pipeline. It's about all these other things too. It's not about a singular pipeline. This is not the grievance of Albertans. We didn't go outside and collect signatures for 3 months in the cold because we wanted one singular pipeline to go to the West Coast. Could you imagine if we had to do all of this work just to get one pipeline? One single pipeline?
Hundreds is what we need. We want to go back to work.
Which, by the way, that one single pipeline will never be built. It's not going to be built. You have David Eby pushing back on it. Oh, and by the way, the grifting, thieving, backstabbing, corrupt chiefs of the First Nations went and got their costumes on again and came out and said, Alberta First Nations rip Carney and threaten not to participate in Indigenous consultations. So you just had a judge, a liberal appointed, Trudeau appointed judge from New Brunswick come into Edmonton and sit down and tell Alberta that the voices of 300,000 Albertans is illegal. But those of 6% of the population can stop any movement from going forward because they need to be consulted. So what's Mark Carney going to do when he wants to put his pipeline through now? Say, I'm not going to consult with First Nations? They've said right here they're not going to participate. So Danielle Smith, sorry, not sorry, your project's already dead in the water. Money grifting, tide funding First Nations chiefs aren't going to let it happen.
Shocking.
So you're either going to tell them that their voice doesn't matter or your pipeline's going nowhere. I'll let you guys decide which way that's going to go, because blood guilt seems to be a regular occurrence in this country. You've already got David Eby whining about it. What do you think's going to happen here? oh, geez, the First Nations are upset, everybody. They're not getting the blood guilt. Piss off. I'm so sick and tired of it. I am. Of course, they were going to come forward after they were smirking and smiling yesterday.
Oh, laughing.
This is a win. This is a win for democracy. Excuse me, Chief Running Mouth. Hey, Bradley strikes with a gun. You're going to sit there and say this is a win for democracy? You just put your boot on democracy. You just said democracy doesn't exist. That if you dare to participate in a democratic process, First Nations are going to come in here. And I keep seeing white people all over X with their rainbow-colored hair telling us, well, it's their land. It's treaty rights. I'll tell you what then, rainbow-haired idiots. Pack up your apartments or leave your mother's basement and give them the keys to your house. If it's their land, get off of it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean my land. I just meant, like, if you're separatist. This is why I can't stand this idiocracy any longer. The hypocrisy has to end at some point. We either give in to the blood guilt or we tell these guys to STFU. I don't know where a lot of people
if we're going
stand.
to give in, I want my money back.
Well, that's just it. They can pay us all the money we've paid them.
100%.
And they can, I said it on Wednesday night, I'll say it again. They're free to get jobs. They're free to pay taxes. They're free to be a part of Canada if they think they have this much influence over how it operates, telling their governments what to do with their citizens. So there's a silver lining to what happened today. Very big silver lining, because this is only going to stoke the flames of independence. It's only going to drive things further for us. And you're going to like where it's going. And this is again where people are going to say, well, you were so hard on Danielle Smith, but now you're putting her on a pedestal. Now you're being nice to her. Here's the one thing I'm sick and tired of. And I tweeted out about this. Jeff Rath posted this. Danielle Smith has the power. Just call the independence question under section
S1
of the Referendum Act.
She could have called it at any time.
Just do it. We know you're going to do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Skip the formalities. Just rip it off like a Band-Aid. Here's the thing. The appeal, I said the other day, it's all just formalities. They have to appeal. They have to make it look like they're trying, or else they get blamed by Nenshi. They get blamed by everybody. The citizens who are on the fence, those who vote NDP, are immediately going to jump all over her with smear campaigns that she didn't bother to consult. She didn't bother to go through the court process. But we all know at the end of the day, she is going to have to be the one who calls this. She knows that. We know that. And we know that she has no choice but to call it. So for those who say Danielle's a shill or Danielle is a federalist, she's on Team Canada, she's going to stab you in the back, it doesn't matter what she is anymore. She gave 300,000 people the option to go out in the cold and get signatures by putting through the laws that she implemented. She let the genie out of the bottle, so she has to follow through or she loses her job, and she knows that. There's also 400,000 people who signed Tom Lukaszik's petition.
Yep.
So she claims 700,000 people in Alberta have said something. We have to follow through. This is again why I said these votes matter so much when it came time to signing that petition.
So just do it.
They're going to go where they're going to go. Just get it done. Just say, you know what? We're not going to intervene anymore or talk about this anymore. We're just going to tell you right now, just so it's in the ground, ready to go, plan booked, signed, sealed, delivered. Question on independence, October 19th.
It's ridiculous to keep dragging it on this long.
Like, look, even Snatch says it. And Snatch is always one of the people who pushes against this more than anything. Not against independence, but against the processes.
Yes.
And he's even admitting she's put herself into a corner. She doesn't have a choice. So for anybody who's going to say it's not going to happen now, or what happens if the courts say no, or what happens if First Nations come in, nobody can overstep what the premier decides.
No.
So she can call it at any point. She should. I'm getting so frustrated with the fact that, because here's the problem with it. You've got this display yesterday, and we showed this on today's video. I'm going to run it for you guys again. Here's Premier Smith in the legislature and listen to everybody screaming in the background and hollering from the NDP side while she's trying to make her point. This shows you the babies that stand in the legislature in Alberta.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we believe the decision is incorrect in law and that it's anti-democratic. We in this chamber represent all of Albertans. We are the democratically elected representatives. And when we have given the indication through legislation that we want a citizen initiative process to be permissive so that Albertans have a chance to go out, gather a petition campaign with hundreds of thousands of their fellow citizens, that they should be given the respect of having that petition validated. We don't live in a society that has judicial supremacy. We live in a society that has parliamentary and democratic supremacy. That is the reason why, as part of the Constitution, Section 33 allows for notwithstanding clause so that when the court makes errors in law, it can always be overridden by democratically elected legislatures. Another avenue is to make sure that we exhaust an appeals process when we think that the judiciary has made an error. Section 33 of the Charter on Rights and Freedoms is by definition a part of the Constitution. And that means that the courts do have deference to the democratically elected members of this chamber and in chambers across the country. And from time to time, the courts make errors in their judgment, at which point we have an obligation and also a right to appeal it. And that's what we're going to do in this case.
So I want to make something very clear here.
She was mad.
She is mad. But this is why I'm getting frustrated with Premier Smith. Because she says over here, we're going to appeal it. There was an error in judgment. This is illegal. You can't stifle the voices of 300,000 Albertans. And you see it here, Derek saying she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
No, absolutely.
But here's what I hate is the double speak. I hate the double talk. This is why I'm saying just call it already and be done with it. Because I'm sick and tired of having to come on here every day and say, Danielle's just doing her job as premier. She's just doing what she has to. She's just playing 4D chess. And then being told, God, you protect her so much. She's a
she
federalist.
has the power to do it. So just do it.
Just do it. Because now you see her walking around after calling this pipeline. Here she is with the human phallus, David Cochrane, who, by the way, we're going to get to the wrath stuff later. Don't worry about that. We're getting to there. But here's what I said the silver lining is from today. And here's what I believe, whether it's Danielle's intention or not. Here's what I took from today's press conference. Danielle is showing you in real time, again, whether intended or not, Danielle is showing you in real time, much like you remember Mark Carney saying, I'm going to get a deal with Trump, and he didn't get a deal, and now he tells everybody we have the best deal out of all the G7 or whatever the hell it is. Danielle is showing you in real time, I said I was going to get a deal with Mark Carney. This is the best deal we're going to get, and it stinks. It's lousy. So now those who are on the fence, those in the middle ground, those who are in the middle to choose whether Alberta independence is necessary or not, you now have a very optimal choice. You take the deal from Mark Carney and the future that it looks like is going under his umbrella, or you vote for independence and get away with it. This clip is going to really help people decide. Take a look at what she says here and what she openly admits on CBC. Because it's gold, and this is what you should be showing people when talking about independence.
What does this agreement with Mark Carney and the promise to have a yes or no on a pipeline by September of next year, what does that do to satisfy the concerns of Albertans who don't think Canada works for them?
Well, I can tell you what ATB has said. They've said if we add another 1.5 million barrels per day of oil in export, we would generate $31 billion worth of GDP. Governments get about 40% of that. The federal government gets half, and we get about half. So you're talking about $10 billion potentially of additional revenue coming.
Okay. Let's go through that nonsense one more time. And I'd love Premier Smith to tell me how this makes sense. She says, I've talked to ATB. They've said that if we add 1.5 million barrels of oil per day of export, we would generate $31 billion worth of GDP. $31 billion of GDP from 1.5 million barrels of oil a day. She says the governments get 40% of that. The federal government gets about half. So when everybody says, well, we got a pipeline, you guys are never happy about pipelines. How much has Alberta benefited since Trudeau bought TMX and opened that? How much investments come into Alberta? None. In fact, jobs have left. We have a higher unemployment rate right now than the rest of the national average. So for anybody to say, well, TMX got built, you guys should be happy with that. 40%, and this is just from 1.5 million barrels per day. If Alberta left Canada and generated $31 billion of worth from 1.5 million barrels of oil per day, imagine what we could generate in GDP if we weren't giving, as she says, half of it to the federal government, and we get out of that 30 billion, 10 billion for the province. So for anybody who says that Alberta would not benefit financially by leaving, she literally just pointed it out here in this interview.
That we do.
40 billion, we get to keep 10. 10. How is that fair? All the while, we're told by Ottawa that if you want more capacity, if you want more GDP, you've got to fight tooth and nail. And as David Eby said, you have to threaten to leave the country. For us to generate $10 billion in GDP when we could get 31 billion from just that line if we left. So when somebody tells you that independence isn't viable or that you're not going to see any money coming in, how's that so when Danielle points this out figure-wise in an interview? Is everybody happy with that figure, by the way? All that fighting and we get $10 billion in GDP? We're literally lighting our money on fire. On fire. And what really, as Peter Griffin says, you know what really grinds my gears? What really gets under my nose is that she was talking today about the industrial carbon tax.
Yeah. That was unbelievable.
This is the wishy-washiness that I'm sick and tired of. She stood up in the legislature yesterday and said, hey, people need to have their voice. We need to allow these people to have a vote on a referendum. Then she comes out today and says, today is a good day for Alberta because we're getting more taxes and red tape. The current rate is $95 a ton through the end of 2026. From 2027 to 2029, it's $100 a ton. Then $130 by 2035. So she sat there and literally said during a press conference in questions afterwards, she said, people don't understand the difference between the consumer carbon tax and the industrial carbon tax. She said the industrial carbon tax doesn't affect your wallet. It doesn't show up on your bills. It doesn't show up at the gas pump. It doesn't show up at your home electricity rates. Yes, it does. Maybe not in print, but it gets passed on to us. When you're paying $1.80 a liter for gasoline, when you're paying $500 to get the groceries that used to cost $125, it's because of the industrial carbon tax. It's because it's a pyramid. The companies that have to pay this much for the oil, they charge more to the refineries. The refineries turn around and say, well, we have to pay more for gasoline. Guess who uses gasoline? The truckers who bring your products to the bloody stores. So she thinks either that we're stupid or she has no clue what she's talking about. It's ridiculous. It's frickin' ridiculous. And that's why I get frustrated and say, just call it already. She has the gall to stand up with Mark Carney and say, oh, this is a great day for Alberta. This is wonderful. And people will say, well, yeah, she has to play prime minister or premier.
But what she's saying
fine.
This is the best deal you're going to get. which makes me say separation.
Look at this. I pay $400 a month on gas and electricity.
It's ridiculous.
So here's what I can take from this. Again, whether it's her intention or not, she's standing next to Mr. Brookfield, Mr. Burns, and she's telling you this is the best deal Alberta gets from the federal government. $95 a ton to $100 to $130 by 2035. And by the way, more investor inhibiting rules like a tanker ban, like an emissions cap. If Mark Carney is going to put a pipeline out to the West Coast, what happens with the tanker ban when ships are going to Asia? Tanker ban's still in place. How does that work? Maybe there's something I'm missing there. So what she's showing Albertans is this is the best deal. You either take independence or you live with this, because this is a year of negotiating, if you can even call it that.
And that's all we get, which is nothing. More taxes?
I want to bring this up, and then I got to get to super chats because I've been leaving them in the background for so long. I'm so sorry, everybody. Who is the premiers in the lineup here? Enmax, Atco, Capital Power, Electricity, and Tourmaline, Natural Gas. Who's not? Oil. Oil companies aren't standing here as she's talking about investors. You know why? Because we brought this up today. This is the new National Energy Program.
Yep.
Mark Carney flew in here, burning all of his carbon credits through the sky, to come to Calgary today as a former Albertan himself, though he claims, to pitch a new national energy program. When you look at Trudeau Sr., control over our oil, east-west pipelines, less foreign oil reliance, lower prices for Canadians, claims Trudeau Sr. 2026, national electricity strategy. Again, nobody from oil and gas standing with Danielle Smith. Canadian control of our electricity. Centralized transmission control. Centralized transmission control.
Transition Canada's energy network.
Yeah, Transition Canada's energy network and more carbon control. Some things never change. Alberta's energy industry is always under attack from Ottawa.
Yep.
So we're getting ripped off again so that Brookfield can pad their pockets and laugh all the way to the bank. It's disgusting. And I'm so fed up. I got to get to super chats because I've been waiting so long, and I'm so sorry again, guys. Badass Custom Coatings. Hope you enjoy your coffee. Oh, thank you for sending me buy me a coffee.
Thank you.
That actually helps the channels. I know people have been saying, where's the locals stuff? I literally sat with locals for a couple hours today trying to figure it out. I still can't. I'm trying to nail it down with the streams. The streams are the problem because of the software we use. I'll let you know as soon as it's available, folks. Again, we're going to have a lot of content coming in there for you guys.
It is coming. We just need to figure it out.
I just got to figure it out. Badass Custom Coatings, thank you for supporting the channel. Gerald Cooper, $2. Carol and I have your latest t-shirts from June 2nd. I appreciate that. Speaking of which, you guys see a little QR code up in the corner. I wanted to wait till everybody was in here so we could open up the Griff shop. We have our new veterans shirts.
Oh, I love these. I love these so much.
Mike Freedom Honey reached out to me and said, I need veterans shirts for the gym.
Yep.
Veterans for Independence shirts are now available. And yes, they have the 10 reasons Alberta would benefit from leaving Canada on the back. We have these shirts for anybody who's new in the chat, new in the stream. We also have the I Support Alberta Independence shirts. Again, you're basically a walking billboard. This gets the conversation started in the country, or at least in the province, on independence. If you use the QR code at top, it'll take you straight to the store. You can pick whichever designs you like. But the new veterans ones, we even have this, where's the washed one? The stone wash one. We've got a stone wash design on the store as well, in 2 different colors, even like a light blue. They look great. Again, all proceeds are either going to the referendum or our veterans. If we sell veterans shirts,
they'll go straight to veterans.
I'll make sure those go to veterans. So make sure to hit the shop. Scanning the QR code will bring you to this screen. Just scroll down. You'll see the veterans shirts and then the Alberta Independence ones. Grab them while they're hot, folks, and not only get yourself something nice, but become a walking billboard and get the discussion started.
For independence.
For independence. This is how we do it. In fact, I'm going to be out with John Alberta Patriot on Tuesday talking with Albertans about independence.
I love that.
So keep your eyes on both channels for that. Real Steve Jensen with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much. I went to the UCP CA meeting last night. Guess I ruffled some feathers with some facts some didn't like. Example, fate of Danielle if she doesn't get on board after a yes vote. Learned lesson in voter exclusion by party rules. Not all UCP are on our side.
Agreed,
No, they're not. And the reason for that is a lot of Jason Kenney's guys are still sticking around. Yeah. Although there are a fair amount that do support independence.
Faking phone calls too.
Faking phone calls like Jason Kenney. Alberta Gamer with a $10 super. If Trudeau was tricked onto a TV show only to be surrounded by angry black men glaring at him about blackface, he would sue, and those laughing at Francis Widdowson would melt down. Lefty hypocrites. Yeah, so Francis Widdowson was kiboshed. We'll say that's the easiest way to say it. And what really sucks is because it was over denialism, and I can't show that on the channel.
Yeah.
Because of censorship. Again, supporting locals when it comes out, I'll be able to talk about those things on locals because we're not allowed to talk about it on here. So once that's available, make sure to grab that membership, folks. Jeffrey with a $4.99 super. Thank you so much. Doug with a $10 super. I appreciate that, Doug. Thank you. Steve with another $5. By the way, Derek, I love the camera you chose so much. I went out and bought the same one of my own. Good choice.
Oh, I love
Thank you
that.
so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you did. And thank you to Steve Jensen for donating that camera to the channel. You guys are going to get better live streams.
And you get to use it for the first time on Tuesday.
Yep, you guys will get better live streams out in the open, better quality. It's going to be fantastic. Rob with a $5 super. First Nations take millions from us, and then they tell us we're on stolen land. Yeah, funny how that works. We got Maple Kitty with a $7 super. Danny is in check-in her game of 4D chess. One way she's safe, move the other way, it's checkmate.
Yep.
I agree. Brad Wilcox, the $2 super. F. Mark Carney, and this garbage. I hear you. Carnage Carney with a $5 super. Is Carney's Mr. Burns, then Smith is Smithers. I don't know about that, but she's not doing her job. It's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating because, again, I talk with her people at least bi-weekly. And anytime you talk to them, say, what the hell's going on here? They go, well, it's just politics. It's the way it is.
It's hard to believe it's like real life.
Max, $50 super. Max, thank you so much.
Thank you.
A bunch of pathological liars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Thanks for that, Max. Max does a lot of coverage of the town halls and different events as well. You'll want to check him out over at Freedom Calendar. David Warner with a $20 super. Great. More taxes. We really need to leave. This is just absolute bullshit.
Yeah, like that's the last thing we need.
I couldn't agree more. Lee, $2 super. Shirt sizes XL equals 3XL, but my 5XL fits perfectly. Yeah, check the measurements before you purchase the shirts. They do have a size chart on there.
Yeah.
It's weird how it depends on the design of the shirt.
Well, it does, and it depends on the stores. Like everywhere, an XL is different.
Like those acid wash shirts I just showed fit differently than their regular relaxed t-shirts. Always check the size chart. D. Robert with a $5 super. Time for some Trump voice. Oh, I definitely think it's time for some Trump voice. I think it's wonderful. Thank you for the $5.
Started out with Trump, and then you didn't bring him up again.
I didn't bring it up again. I didn't want it because we were talking about politics. I'm yelling about Danielle Smith. I gotta say, she's really making me angry. I'm gonna get close to saying, Danielle, I like you. I bigly like you, but Danielle, you're fired. Okay. Derek has a point. Nobody wants to do business with Canada. Nobody wants to do business with Alberta.
No.
And that's the problem. So call it 4D chess or whatever you want, with Premier Smith not calling the referendum and promoting this garbage pipeline, this dog shit pipeline. It's essentially just saying, hey, don't bother investing in Alberta.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's just trying to push it away until we get independence so we can get better deals. But when you think about that clip again at $40 billion.
It's a lot of money.
Or 30 billion, 40%
10.
going to the federal government. That's a lot of money to give up when we have to fight so hard for it.
Yeah.
Mile High Mopar with a $10 super. Canada's Foo Bar. I'm tired of seeing and hearing it every day. Let's just go already.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I agree. It's just infuriating. It's infuriating.
Todd wants to know where his rubles are.
Listen, comrade, rubles little hard to come by these days, okay? Danielle signing pipelines, not so good for rubles. UCP not paying us as much as they used to shill. Hold in there, comrade.
You need Mike here with the hat.
You know who's getting their rubles? Jason Kenney and Mark Carney. Matt Kenney, he's getting his rubles. Drinking his Fringe vodka.
Yeah.
They're always getting their rubles.
That's funny.
I love that picture. Gerald with the $2 super, born free and taxed to death. Yep. I couldn't agree more. Let's take a look at Danny here. I know we're going to be talking about her a lot tonight. Here she is in a press conference with the Western Standard. Rebel News talked about this. Premier Smith tells the Western Standard there's still more issues to resolve between Alberta and Ottawa when it comes to rising separatist sentiments in the province. The Liberals' confiscation of law-abiding gun owners' property is another important issue, she adds. What? Let's take a listen.
Okay, and do you think if Ottawa had approved a pipeline years ago, the independence movement would be where it's at now in terms of momentum?
Well, I can tell, as I said, I mean, it's vitally important that this deal was signed, because I think there's a number of decisions the federal government made that ended up eroding confidence. And it's not just about getting a pipeline built. It was that they took away aspirationally of us ever getting another pipeline to be built ever again. Because we do have Trans Mountain Pipeline, we do have Coastal GasLink, which is expanding in natural gas, but essentially staring into a future where not only we would never be able to build another pipeline, but we'd have to start shutting in our existing production, which is what several independent consultant reports said, by 2 million barrels a day by 2035. And all of the...
So there's the problem. She just acknowledged that by 2035, we're losing 2 million barrels of oil a day, but she just said this was a good day for Alberta. Which is it? Stop. Just stop. And then she says, well, we have to fight for gun rights for...
Yeah.
Instead of now?
And then she'll say it's a good day.
Why you no bring the gun to me and then I give you $25 gift card to Tim Horton?
Do not redeem it! Do not redeem it! Do not redeem it! Why you redeem it?
See, and this is what I'm always told. It's politics. But I'm sick and tired of that. I'm sick of it. We froze? Yeah, YouTube's probably mad at us. I can tell you they don't like me very much.
No.
This is why I'm getting so sick and tired of this, is that Danielle Smith will sit and say, oh, we're losing 2 billion barrels of oil per day by 2035. Oh, isn't that terrible? Oh, there's bigger issues. This is why the separatist movement's so high. This is why I'm going to validate those signatures. But, oh, it's a great day for Alberta. We're going to do this deal with Mark Carney. We believe in a sovereign Alberta in a united Canada. Pick a lane.
Yeah.
Pick a lane. Do all this stuff, but just say, I have the power to call the referendum. It's called for October 19th. It's done. We all know it's coming. It's done. There you go. Just move on. Like, I like Danielle, but here's the question you have to ask yourself. Is this the behavior we would see from Ralph Klein if he was still here and the same thing was happening?
No, he would have told
Or would
Carney
Ralph Klein be telling
F
Carney,
off a long
I'm not
time
taking
ago.
your deal? Would he tell Carney, I'm not taking that deal and we're calling a referendum? What would Peter Lougheed have done?
Laughed
Would
in
Peter
his face.
Lougheed have taken the same approach? I'm not trying to be mean to Danielle here. I'm just saying you have to pick a lane. You can still be the premier and you can still do what's best for Albertans talking with the government. You have the ability to say no. You know, you have the right to tell Mark Carney, yeah, that's not going to work for us. And again, I feel that what she's doing is she's trying to show Albertans in real time, this is the deal we get if we stay. However, the problem is if independence fails, we're stuck with that deal. We're stuck with it. Stop touting it as a good thing. We already know from the reports she's talking about, nobody wants to invest in Alberta when there's net zero, when there's carbon credits, when there's emissions caps, when there's tanker bans.
Yeah, these companies are leaving. They don't want to do deals with us right now.
And all of it's designed for Pathways to make $16 billion, which has controlling interest from Brookfield. It's a Brookfield deal.
Yep. All to benefit him, and then he's going to leave.
Mile High with a $10 super. Canada's FUBAR. I'm tired of seeing and hearing it every day. Let's just go already.
Yep.
I agree. We got Gerald's. Thank you for that, Gerald. Matt coming in with the $10 super. Hello, independent Albertans. It's 9 p.m. here in the Interlake. The sun is setting, and I just got home from Winnipeg. The
hate mobile
is absolutely purring. Gross. The thought of Matt filming that from the back of his hate mobile. Yikes. Mr. Alberta, $5 super. Just joined my local UCP board. Way easier than I thought. Get your UCP membership and get on your local board. Maybe the NDP board too, for funsies. And lols.
And lols. I love
Shout out to
that.
Mr. Alberta. He's pretty cool. I like him. I've met him a couple times. Good guy. It's just infuriating to have to watch it. And I'm sure it's infuriating for you guys
lost
too.
Her balls a little bit. Like she was really talking for the people for a while there, and now she's just kind of talking out of both ends.
I think it's a lot easier than that, Fred.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier than that. I think it's just politics.
Yeah.
Did we freeze again? We might have frozen
probably
because the
froze.
chat's frozen now. I think it's just politics. Like, I know from the discussions, like, and this is where it's hard to be a YouTuber, especially one who has the contacts that's talking to these people in the background, but they always say this is off the record, or these are things we can't discuss openly or come on the show and talk about yet. There's plans in the works. Is that I hear what they're wanting to do and I get that information, but then I have to sit here and defend them and say, they're really just trying to do what's best for us, guys. Trust me, everything that we want is coming our way. But at the same time, they do stuff like this today, and it's infuriating. Because then you have to come on the air and say, boy, guys, I'm really sorry. This is screwed up. And then people say, well, you're a shill. And then when I criticize, I'm told that I'm a jerk for doing it.
You can't win.
There's no winning. My car just passed 350,000 kilometers to cover town halls. The MOU is a bad deal.
Wow.
Max, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Steve Jensen with a $5 super. A few of us canvassers are putting in a float in tomorrow's May Day parade and mirror Mr. and Mrs. Al Burton's coming out for this.
Oh, I love that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I wish I could make it up to Mirror tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'm going with Mike.
Freedom Honey?
Mike Freedom Honey, our Monday co-host. I'm taking my son Wade with Mike to a pinball expo in Sherwood Park.
We have agreed. You're not coming home with one.
I'm coming home with one.
Mm-mm.
I'm coming home with an arcade machine at least.
Do not come.
Do not come? Is
Do
that
not come.
you said you're telling me I can't bring an arcade machine home?
Yeah.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm going to come.
Oh.
No, you're not.
Sure I will. Sure I will. And this is exactly what it'll look like when I come in the door and you get mad.
Go ahead and call your dads, tell them about your alternative lifestyle as a gay communist. And then, who knows, maybe eat a lollipop. I don't know what flamers do with their time, but I'd imagine it's something along those lines.
Yep.
You won't be coming through the front door if you have something with you.
Okay. What about our child?
He's okay.
I can trade him across the board?
No.
For a machine? I think I'd be fair. Back on topic. I'm glad they're going to be in that parade. I think that's fantastic. Here we got D. Robert with the $5 super. MOUs are useless as a screen door in a submarine.
Yeah. Well, didn't you wave some toilet paper around for the MOU to Danielle?
To Danielle at the AGM, and
Yeah.
I said, "Look, I got an MOU just like you, Danielle." And she was mad. She called me an asshole. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Here's where the problem is that I have is that while people can say this is politics, while Danielle can sit there and say the consumer or the industrial carbon tax doesn't affect you, it indeed does. I want to show you guys something that was sent to me today. And I just tried to blow it up in separate pictures. Here's the price of food in the United States right now in California. Kelly sent this to me just before the show. Took these pictures in California last week. Even with the exchange, it is still massively cheaper in the US. And I noticed this when we were in Los Angeles back in March. Here we've got eggs at $1. What is that? $1.87? Somewhere around there. Sorry, it's really small on my screen.
Yeah, so it's $1.87.
You've got
60 cents for avocados.
Avocados. 60 cents for avocados. $3.81 for a gallon of milk.
Wow, we're paying like $8 for
add
milk.
on 30% for the dollar, folks. It's still cheaper. Still cheaper. Look at their steak.
$20 for that steak.
And look how thick it is.
That's a good steak.
That's a T-bone.
Wow.
Angus beef.
Yep.
Like, I just can't anymore. Meanwhile, in Canada, this is what you get. This is what you get in Canada. And Danielle says it's a great day for Alberta.
Yep.
So this is the choice you have to make come October. This is the choice every Albertan has to make during October. Do you want this? Or do you want this? When is enough enough? Do you want to be able to fill your car with gas? Do you want to have a job to actually go to?
Well, that's the big thing.
Do you want to save 30% of the money you give to the government? Do you want to build schools? Do you want to build hospitals? Do you want to have an influx of working people coming here that actually boost our GDP where we don't have to give 40% of it to the government? We can get more. You think about her announcement saying that we're getting $10 billion out of the 30 we're generating from just 1.5 million barrels of oil a day. 1.5 million. Trump just signed that deal with Alberta, by the way, that got an extra 1 million barrels a day. That was one line. We have hundreds on the table. Hundreds that are waiting approval on the table. So when you think about the capacity of 1 million barrels of oil a day and what that could do, think about the GDP that could be earned if we greenlit all of those projects.
Jane Doe says she's eating ground beef on a steak budget. Isn't that true?
Champagne wishes on a beer budget.
Yep.
That's what it is. And this whole thing that was announced today is just a new national energy program. Alberta's sunk. The country is sunk. You should have other premiers in other provinces furious with this deal. And not because, well, Alberta got something and we didn't. It's very obvious the government's just ripping everybody off for Brookfield at this point. Every province should be mad at this, not just us. Mile High Mopar, $5 super. I no longer have a job to go to thanks to the Liberals. 10 years for absolutely nothing. I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you for the super. I'm so sorry to hear that. Alberta Gamer, Ottawa's game. Tails they win, heads we lose. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. Alberta Independence 2026 $5 super. Purchased mine and my hubby's UCP membership the other day. Today purchased 2 of the I Support Alberta Independence and 1 of the I Am Alberta tees. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy them.
Yes.
And get the conversation started. In fact, I already said today, there's a couple of schools I'm going to reach out to. I'm not going to say where because
or even the Parkland school division.
Just to say, can I sit down with some faculty members? I don't want to film it. I don't want to expose these people or nothing like that. You don't want me exposing myself.
No, more for information than anything.
Just to talk to them, to say, have you, like, put the unions aside, put the politics aside. We're not here to talk about the NDP. We're not here
and we're
to
not
talk
here
about
to shove it down your throat either. Like, let's have a real civil conversation
as
about
teachers with heavily flooded classrooms. What if you could get smaller classrooms? What if you could focus your time on fewer students so they get a better education? If you're a teacher, surely that's what you want.
Yeah.
What if 30% more of your check went further? These are the conversations that need to be had. Those shirts are going to get the conversation started. It's the first step, folks. That's why I say I want to see a sea of them this summer. Mrs. Fringe and I will be down at the Stampede grounds at some point.
So excited.
In the first week of Stampede. I'll make an announcement, so if anybody wants to see us, they'll have a better chance of running into us there.
A week, but
well, the first few days, the first few days of Stampede. And I'll announce when we're going to be there.
So try and find us. Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's like a Where's Waldo.
Yeah.
However, I want to see people around the Stampede wearing those shirts.
Yeah.
I want to see people in downtown Calgary at peak Stampede season having those conversations with people. If you're First Nations, I've got one of those shirts on the way for First Nations as well that says First Nations supports independence with those 10 rules on the back. We're just waiting for it to be processed in the store, but it is coming. I want that discussion to happen everywhere. Everywhere. And again, we're not taking profits on it, so go pick one up. Because it gets the conversation started. And they're very relaxed reasons. They're not aggressive.
Nope.
What we have to start doing and what people need to start realizing, I keep seeing these town halls. I keep seeing events where people are talking and saying, oh, people just need to understand this or they need to think about that. What you need to start asking people is what I was just talking about with teachers. How is your grocery bill right now? How are you going to be when the consumer or the industrial carbon tax goes up and your food costs more?
Yeah, it's not just how it's going to benefit your job. It's how it's going to benefit your life outside of that as well.
How's your mortgage payments right now or your rent payments? Are you finding it easy to fill your car with gas?
No.
What if you could make that go further? And people go, oh, you're just talking to me about separation. No, I'm just asking a general question.
Yeah.
And if you say, well, I'm not interested in your separatist propaganda or your separatist nonsense.
But if it had nothing to do with that, what in your life would you want to change to make it better?
But that's the real question. Why? Okay, so what is stopping you?
Politics aside, right?
The way to start that conversation is to say, but what is stopping you then from voting for separation?
Yeah.
Well, I love Canada.
I love Canada too, but
I love Canada too, but are you prepared to give 40% of the money you make to it? Are you prepared?
For now, because that's just going to go up.
Are you prepared to lose your home? Are you prepared to live in a tent? Are you prepared to, like, the last time I seen wages match inflation was over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Like early 2000s.
2 decades ago.
I remember like around the 2012 era was 2012, 2013. Mrs. Fringe was in the oil business. And there were people being booked over from the Philippines, people from India, people from all over being brought over as engineers.
Yep.
And engineers at that time were making about 130, 140K a year on average.
They'd come in for 60.
They'd come in for 60, 70. And they'd take the jobs. And the companies started undercutting those engineers by saying, hey, these guys are willing to work. And all
if
they need is...
you're not going to do it, somebody else will.
They need a sponsor to come over. We're going to give them that visa and they'll come over and work for less. And they're qualified. They're qualified. So they can come over and work for less. And ever since then, every time, and you can vouch, every time you sat down with your boss and said, hey, the cost of living's going up. My utility bills just
don't have it in the budget.
Just don't have it in the budget right now, guys. We can't do anything about it. Meanwhile, they're getting bonuses every Christmas. They're stockholders, they're shareholders, they're board members. They're all buying their third, fourth, fifth house.
The swag is still going out. The parties are still being held.
Yep. They don't care.
No.
They don't care. Things have to change. And that's the discussion. How do you feel about immigration? How do you feel about the fact that your check doesn't go far anymore? When was the last time you went on a vacation? When was the last time you went out for dinner with your family to a restaurant? Or put your feet up and said, I don't have to worry for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know so many people who cash their checks. In fact, I was in the bank, and not that I pry, but somebody next to me was saying to somebody, I'm down to my last $20 in my account and I just got paid.
That's life.
How's that?
Now.
People are living on their credit cards. And Danielle says it's a good day for Alberta. Please explain how. Please explain how this is going to benefit us. If you went to a job tomorrow and somebody said, hey, we're going to give you the best career of a lifetime. You're going to work 40 hours a week and some overtime, and we're going to pay you 30% of what the job's worth and keep the other 70. Would you want that job? Would you say it's a good day for me? I just got a job. They're taking 40 to 70% of what I make. That's what the government's doing to Alberta. And Danielle Smith's acting like it's a win. We're getting ripped off. Here's Captain McGinty with a $5 super. Playing politics is getting people really missed off. Words might turn into something stronger if the release valve isn't pressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who pays for the Brookfield carbon sucking machine? Taxpayers.
We all do.
We all do. We're all going to pay for it, courtesy of Canadian taxpayers.
Forever.
While we funnel our money to Ukraine. By the way, top official in Ukraine, what was it?
The second in command.
Second in command is being investigated for money laundering. How's that? Gerald with a $2 super. I'll be 69 years old on June 2nd. Well,
good for you.
Happy early birthday. Philip with a $5 super. Premier Danny not taking a stance weakens you. Show strength. Enough already. Fear not.
Yep.
Again, we're talking about politics, and I don't want people saying you're just being mean to Danielle. You're being mean.
I think you like that voice.
But what she has to realize is that all you have to do, Danny, is step over that line. We got your back. If you go back to early Danielle, that was based, that stood for Albertans, we'd have your back. You don't have to sign with independence. You don't have to, because you can't. But just call it. You can do that. Call it.
What's it going to do?
I'll tell you right now, if Nenshi starts attacking you, this channel, other channel, we'll all defend you.
Oh, yeah.
Those people hate you anyways. So just call it.
Yeah.
You know it's the right thing to do. You know what I felt like there? You guys ever watch Saturday Night Live and see Chris Farley and Adam Sandler doing the Hurley boy where he goes, please let me feed your dog. I promise I'll do a good job. Just let me feed your dog. And then Chris Farley, for the love of God, just let the boy feed your dog. That's for the love of God, Danny, just call the referendum. That's all we want.
Oh my word.
Steve Jensen with a $5, $187 for just over half a tank of diesel for 350 kilometers. That's 53 cents a kilometer for me.
Right?
It's horrible.
Wow.
Horrible. I watched a guy fill up their SUV today and it was over, what was it, $140, $150 for them to fill an SUV. And I'm going, what do you get, like 600 kilometers in a tank?
So we all get to live in our homes this summer.
There, Paniner gets it. I love the Hurley boy. Yeah, it was a classic. That was a classic sketch. That was a classic. More to talk about here. Let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the good stuff because we spent long enough talking about the negatives. Navy cadet, there's the good stuff. $10 super. Found out today my wife is pregnant by accident. I am so excited, and I just had to tell somebody, kid number 5 on the way. Life is great. Alberta's great. Family's great. This has to be next week.
Congratulations.
First off, congratulations, and I'll tell you
never
why.
An accident.
I'll tell you why that makes me so happy. Kid number 5. People are breeding again.
Yes.
You know, like we
need more.
We need more Canadian kids. I'm so sick and tired of being replaced. You're doing your due diligence, sir. I salute you. And sorry to hear about the loss of your little swimmers.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
Congratulations to Navy Cadet.
Good luck.
Thank you for the super chat. In fact, Navy Cadet, send me an email.
You can send a onesie.
Yep. Send me an email at unacceptablefringeyt@gmail.com. And I'll reply back and then send me another email once you have the baby, letting me know if it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah, we'll send you a onesie.
I'm going to get you a custom Unacceptable Fringe onesie for your baby to send you. I am so happy to hear about your reproduction. Thank you for that super chat. Seal Clubber with a $2 super upgrade from YYC Mayor, Fringe for President of the Republic of Alberta.
Let's do it.
I wish. You guys don't want me in charge. It's fun to be here and talk with you guys. It's fun to shoot my mouth off. You guys don't want me in charge of nothing, I'm telling you. Teresa Freedom coming into the $5 super. Is there no carbon in Quebec and Ontario? Why do they not have to build carbon sucking machines? Because everybody likes them in the East.
They're at a different level.
What do we got here? Maple Kitty. Suggest you contact the Big Rig Distillery and actually commission Fringe Russian vodka that we can buy in liquor stores. Is that Is that possible? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Oh, my word.
Tony O saying, I don't want to end up living in a van down by the river. Whoopsie daisy. Tony's got it. Thank you for the $50 super,
you.
Tony. That's very generous. I think that's Tony's first super chat. Thank you. We're going to be out here smoking doobies and living in a van down by the river. Oh, good old Matt Foley.
You're killing me.
I'm going to have to get some of those clips for the show.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what happened on CBC. I'll get to the supers in a minute. Jeff Rath not only went up against the human phallus, he was also sitting down on another, one after another. He did a double shot.
Good for him.
Jeff Rath wins by fatality. Finish him. What's really funny here, it was basically the same interview that we saw before, but look at this. Mrs. Fringe and Steve made the news this was during the signature drop off. There's my son Steve hanging out with Mrs. Fringe while I was live streaming. Mrs. Fringe made the CBC and my son Steve. And what's really funny, I'll play the clip where it happens. Jeff Rath, he knows Steve.
Steve is very popular.
You can see him looking down at the screen and seeing Steve. He actually laughs when he sees him.
To consult, you anticipated this, and to your point, we heard the premier calling this duty to consult in this particular case murky, which is why she says the provincial government intends to also appeal. Can I ask you, we were talking to a First Nation chief just a little earlier about what duty to consult looks like, and it sounds to me like you have given this some thought. It isn't a veto, correct? It is a consultation process.
Right. I've actually won more consultation cases in the courts of Canada than any lawyer in the country. Right. So, quite frankly, I was, again, not surprised, that the judge rendered this decision the way that she did, but it's completely outside of the law as anybody knows it. Effectively, she said, and this was in a stay decision that she issued earlier, all you have to do is assert that there is a treaty, a treaty relationship, not even a specific right, a treaty relationship and a lack of consultation, and that gives rise to irreparable harm, giving rise to, to a stay, preventing government from moving forward. The judge, from our perspective, and this is why we're appealing, has a very weak grip on the law as it applies to First Nations rights in Canada, and obviously we'll be appealing on that basis.
So over this 6-minute clip, and again, I'm grateful for Jeff for his little giggle when he saw Steve. I thought it was great. Mrs. Fringe and Steve made the news. He absolutely destroyed the CBC twice in one day.
Oh, when he was on Cochrane's show, just annihilated.
I'll get to that clip. First, we got Grandpa TC coming in. Just so long as the van down by the river is a Chevy by the levee. I'd love for it to be, but the levee was dry. Can't do that. I'm sorry. What is this? Jeff Rath looks eerily like Doug Ford. Just say, don't be mean to Jeff. That's horrible. Jeff's gonna have nightmares. Here's what we've got. Was this the Cochrane interview? No, this was the snooty what's her face coming out talking about how everything's golden and for the CBC after Danielle Smith came out trying to villainize Danielle Smith. Let's take a look at this clip and then I'll pull up Jeff and the human penis. Here we go.
The Prime Minister has a real challenge because Danielle Smith clearly has no political incentive to get to a finish line when it comes to conflict with Ottawa. And she has made a choice here to accelerate, to ratchet up the pressure. I think Tim is exactly right that in that press conference, the key word there was undemocratic. There's nothing undemocratic about the judge's decision. She may not like it. She may wish to appeal it, and that's well within her government's rights, but it's not undemocratic. And her choice there is to run down the very system itself. And I think at the end of the day, Albertans have to look around and realize that what the outcome of this push on separation and sovereignty has been so far is to destabilize the investment environment in the province dramatically, and now to put almost 3 million Albertans' personal information up on the open web. That's
so this lady, whatever she's smoking, I'd like a little bit more. I'd like some. Pass it over here. She's saying that Danielle Smith is the reason that investment has left Alberta. Separatism is the reason investment has left Alberta. You could not be any more wrong, madam. Investment won't come to Alberta because of some skinny prick who ran the country in 2015 all the way up until last year alongside his cohort, Mr. Burns, who has 9 bad laws hanging over Alberta's head. Who wants to invest when somebody's got their boot on your neck, when there's no money to be made? You know, if Mark Carney was to walk in on Shark Tank, this is where all the investors would say, well, you have a green capture initiative, you've got your values in place, you've got carbon credits, you've got an industrial carbon tax, and for that reason, Mark Carney, I'm out. Yeah. They don't want in.
No.
Who wants in a bad environment when you can't make any money? Anybody who invests in stocks for a living buys lows and sells highs. Yes, I did multiply those on purpose. But you've got people who look at their investment and say, this is a good time to jump in. I'm going to make a profit and then I'm going to get out. Nobody wants to do that in Alberta because there's no future in Alberta. What they're not talking about is how the job market in Alberta has essentially collapsed while we bring in endless amounts of temporary foreign workers, which, by the way, Mark Carney's told us we're getting more of. More. So your jobs are already going out the window. We're going to bring in more guys unless you vote for independence. I buy into Brookfield, not joking. I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. I've been watching the Brookfield stock. It went up significantly last year when Mark Carney became prime minister. It went up a little bit more in September, but it's a pretty stable stock for right now. It went up 1.5 points today after the Pathways announcement. Because again, the deal being offered to Alberta is just that the government gets to take a bunch more of our money. So for the investor end of Brookfield, it's not beneficial yet. Unless you want that money to sit for a while, I wouldn't invest there. You know what? If there's a stock you do want to invest in, I'd recommend one called Nebius. You can look at a group called Nebius or Palantir. Maybe now's not such a good time for Palantir, but I'd watch those two stocks. Nebius in particular. Very good stock to invest in. Seal Clubber with a $2 super. Shut up, you groupthink commie chick. I love it. I love it. Let's bring up Jeff Raff. Let's bring up Jeff Raff and David Cockring, because that interview was just amazing.
Oh,
you could see David trying to trap Jeff Raff numerous times. I thought I had it in here. Maybe it's because I posted it out. Hang on. That's why I had that other one queued up. That's why I had that other one queued up. I'll even bring in my tweet to show you what was said. For anybody who doesn't follow me on the X, I posted it last night. I said, someone call the police. Jeff Rath just slaughtered the CBC. Here you've got David Cockring coming in to talk about independence. And what's funny is the minute this interview started, and I said it with Mrs. Fringe, I said, this guy is going to try to make Jeff look stupid the whole time. It's going to be his goal.
It's going to be as try and be as sneaky and tricky as possible, but Jeff wasn't going for it.
And what's funny is you've got Jeff Rath. He talks about the Constitution Act. I can't show the whole thing.
No.
But he brings up Soros, and it really just pushes them over the head to say, okay, it's time to cut off this interview. We're done with it. Let's say I'll just cut in here and we'll show you from here.
The conditions under the HIDA test, and again going back to the contemplated conduct, that if the Crown will act on something, and acting on a successful separation referendum would obviously affect the treaty rights of Treaty 7.
No, it wouldn't obviously.
Okay, but she says that once an initiative petition is approved and the required signatures are obtained, the executive must hold a referendum and must implement the results of the referendum. So if it goes ahead and you win, they are bound by the law to implement it, and then it will be too late to start the duty to consult because it will be happening after a decision has been made and found binding on the executive, and that infringes on the rights to be consulted in advance.
Sure.
That is the fundamental argument here. What's that?
We say that's all wrong. So yeah, that's what the judge said. We're obviously appealing her decision because we say that's wrong. And the reason we say that it's wrong is because the Supreme Court of Canada itself, in the secession reference, said that nobody's rights are engaged, even in the event of a yes vote in a referendum, because simply citizens expressing their opinions on something doesn't affect anybody's rights. The Supreme Court has made it clear that it's a political process. And what we have here is this is the second judge now that's decided that they want to engage in politics and they want to be a political actor rather than a judicial actor, and to basically engage in politics, while wearing a black robe with a red sash. And quite frankly, in our constitutional system, that is completely inappropriate.
So you've got Jeff Rath just coming back, and keep in mind, folks, you should go watch the entire interview if you haven't already.
Very good interview.
What Jeff does throughout this entire interview, while he acts like a complete boss, is he mentions every single bill, every single section to counteract what the CBC is saying. He puts them in their place.
Yep.
And as we get to where is it? He mentions George Soros. Here we go. Let me get the question started. Sorry, guys. I should have timestamped this. They're talking about the consultations. And Jeff Rath shuts it down. And then David says, okay, I'm sorry. We're going to cut the interview off. I'll leave you with this, because they're so frustrated they can't get to him. Here we go.
Jason Kenney.
Okay, so yes, the government could try to move ahead with this referendum. They would still have to meet the threshold of the duty of consult, because they are acting on behalf of the
they don't, sir. You don't understand the law.
They're the crown.
They do not have to consult. And that's exactly what Justice Feasby said, and that's exactly what Justice Leonard said. They basically say you have to consult if you go under the Citizens Initiative Act, but you know what? If you do it under Section 1 of the Referendum Act, there's no ability whatsoever for the court to get involved, because even Justice Leonard agrees at that point, the Supreme Court of Canada and the secession reference says the courts have no role to play and no jurisdiction because it's a purely political issue. So and I'm sure that the First Nations, because they're being funded by the Tides Foundation and funded by George Soros and funded by foreign money, will fight every single step of the way because they have billionaires backing them. But at the end of the day, we are pushing ahead. Our movement is not deterred by this, and we will have a referendum on October 9th.
Well, Mr.
So here's where David Cochran, he goes for the jugular on his last attempt to try and put Rath into a corner. He brings up MAGA. He brings up the United States.
Wrong.
They always have the same talking points.
Oh, yeah.
They always come in. Oh, well, we couldn't get you on the consultation.
We'll get you on this
we couldn't
one.
get you on the blood guilt. Let's try with MAGA.
If you've been meeting with the Americans, like you've been going across the border, have you not, and talking to people?
We're not funded. We're not funded by.
Have you asked them for? But have you asked them for?
They don't instruct our court cases. They don't hire our lawyers. Please let's be realistic here. I just bring that up because the other side was raising these silly foreign interference arguments in the context of this court case, when they're the ones that are actually being funded, by foreign sources and, that are tied to communist China. So, let's be clear here. And I've heard you talking about this with other guests on your program and Jason Kenney and others. So I just wanted to sort of balance out the record because, typically the comment comes to Alberta independence.
There it is. Like Jeff, absolutely fatality. Jeff wins.
Finish him.
Fatality. I absolutely balls to the wall. You can't pay for that kind of entertainment anymore. It was glorious. Just let him have it. That he says, let's be realistic here. I've seen how you talk about us on the show. I've seen how you don't give us any leeway on the show, how you talk with Jason Kenney, how you talk with others. We're not funded by these people. We're not paid by these people. Get out of it. And it was all over their national broadcast. He absolutely just dropped it in their lap. There's people out there that don't like Jeff Rath, that say he's bad for the movement or we don't like what he's saying. I say if there was ever a time for Jeff to shine, that was it yesterday. He just showed everybody why he is a good figurehead to have for these kind of situations. And it's no swipe at Anybody else who would go on these shows or talk like this? Because when you see, let's switch the field for a second and just make a comparison. I have great respect for Keith Wilson. In fact, I'm trying to get him on the show for Monday. I haven't heard back from him. Hopefully his schedule's open because I'd like to talk to him more. But let's say if Keith Wilson went on to talk about this instead of Jeffrey Raff. Now, Keith Wilson would have brought the same talking points and the same pieces of constitutions, the same laws, the same facts that Jeff brought. But Keith is very
professional.
He's very professional and reserved when he talks to people. And he would have just conducted his interview and left like he should.
Yes.
I like how Keith handles himself. And some people want that calm
mic drop.
Kind of like your dad talking to you. Like you're going to get the facts.
Shut up, you're stupid. This is how it is.
But then you got Jeff coming in.
Yeah.
And what he did was on a day where Albertans had been denied their signatures, on a day where Albertans are frustrated, on a day where Albertans are saying, I feel like I'm not heard, Jeff went in there and told the CBC, who are shill prostitute media, to their faces live on television, you guys suck. You don't listen to anything we say. You don't speak about facts. You guys don't talk the truth. And we've had enough of it. Here's the reality of everything. Here's how the laws work. Now cram that up your tailpipe and paddle along. It was necessary. And I'm here for it.
Yep.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely loved every minute of that interview. You should go check it out. I would never recommend going to watch the CBC.
No,
but that interview, folks.
Jeff is worth a watch.
That interview. Gold. We got some other supers in here. Freedom Calendar. I almost said F Calendar. Freedom Calendar, the $20 super. I pray so I can find a job in IT before EI runs out. The economy in Canada is in the toilet.
Oh, it is. It's horrible.
It is.
I'm still looking.
I hope it works out, Max. Major Flip with the $10 super. Hey, Fringe, thanks for naming your son after me. Super, get off the pot.
You're very welcome. He's actually named after Steve Rogers.
After all of our kids' first and middle names are after superheroes.
They got famous names.
We've talked about that before on the channel. So I've got a Wade Wilson, I've got a Harley Quinn, and I've got a Steve Rogers. It wasn't my idea. It was a joint idea.
Yeah.
Seal Clubber with the $2 super. We got that one earlier. Steve Jensen. Steve is a great name. I love that. Oh, wait. I know how we can say this.
You got it.
I got real Steve Jensen with a $5 super. Steve is a great name. I love that name. Never seen anything like it. Steve is the best name ever. I love that name. Bigly. Thank you so much, Steve, for the $5 super. Like Gerald Cooper, the $5. I filled up my Silverado 4x4. It cost me $90 down to 7.8 kilometers from 13. I can go 1050 on a full tank.
Wow.
Well, that's good, but there's a lot of vehicles out there that don't get that kind of mileage. I'm happy if people can stretch it out a bit. Maple Kitty with a $14 super. Elon Musk has looked into the Tesla factory in Edmonton and said that he launches Starlink from Wetaskiwin. So don't you think he'll move stuff up here when we're independent? Canada keeps that from happening.
Yeah.
It would be great if he did.
Cars cost less than Wetaskiwin.
I don't know if you know this. I love Elon. I think Elon's wonderful. He's an amazing man. I think he should move his factories to Canada, up to Alberta.
Hire some Albertans.
Hire Albertans. Bring Albertan workers into your factories.
I can work out there.
Make some Tesla taxis.
Yeah.
Get them out on the market. Flood the market. Those are the only electric vehicles I want to see in Alberta. Elon, I'm giving you a free advertisement. Just send a Cybertruck.
No.
Send a Cybertruck, courtesy of Unacceptable Fringe.
If you get one ever, which will never, ever happen, but it has to be badass custom coatings, has to make it look like a cardboard box.
Azrael says $5 super. Derek, Palantir Technologies, they surveillance intelligence on citizens. Yeah, they also make military drones and things like that. Here's the thing. When you're investing in stocks, leave your conscience outside the door. It's about making money. I don't know if people know that when you're investing in stocks. Research what they're doing and if it's going to benefit your investment. That's what you're there to do.
Yeah.
Come here to play politics. Have your politics in certain places, but when you're investing your stocks, see, I don't personally invest in my stocks. I'm told where to put my money and where to make money. So if you want to make money, Palantir has been a very beneficial stock. I don't know if it's doing well right now. I haven't looked at it in a while. I don't invest in Palantir too often, but it's one that you can do what's called a lot of a pump and dump. You can throw a little bit in, and as soon as it jumps, you can pull it back out. It's little free stock advice. Not that I'm a professional or anything. But yeah, anytime you're doing stocks, folks, leave your conscience outside the door. There's companies I don't agree with that I invest in stocks, but it's because I'd like to retire before I'm 90.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Maple Kitty with a $7 super with Stay Free Canvassers in 6, 7, and 8. I think we consulted the First Nations, just not the Chiefs.
Yep.
We didn't have to.
No.
Guys, I had to cut my grass today. Who do I consult? I'd like to know if I'm allowed to cut my lawn. You know, since they're protesting oil and gas, should I ask before I go fill up my car? Should I consult with First Nations? I'd hate to hurt their feelings. Why don't you consult with these nuts? I'm so sick of the First Nations. Like, I'm sick of the Chiefs. I should say it that way. I'm sick of the Chiefs.
Yes.
I don't have any problem with First Nations. I have a problem with their corrupt, money-sucking chiefs. Consulting. Carnivalism. I like that one. Becoming a new member of the Patriots. So thank you so much. Ingrid with a $5 super. Jeff Rath is awesome. Oh my God, he's awesome. Seal Clubber just updated my UCP membership. Vote for Fringe. There you go. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have been great. You guys are wonderful. I got to be honest. You guys are wonderful. Hanging out in the chat. You guys are great. I don't know if you know this, but I think the chat tonight has a fever.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Oh, more cowbell. Guys, Q&A. Let's get it in the chat and tell me if you have any questions and want me to answer them. Oh, look, we're stalling out again. We're stalling out again. I saw it that time. The canvassers who took my signature were going to Habima the next day to get signatures there. I don't know where that is, but I'm that's good, I guess. Have you seen Mortal Kombat 2 yet? No. Movies are expensive to go to. I'm saving my money to take my son to see Masters of the Universe in a couple of weeks. I can't wait for that
You're
one.
very excited about that.
It's give me your effing money, Fringe. That's not what I say. That's what the government says.
Give me your fucking money!
Yeah, that's the
love that
government.
one.
That's the government. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, Hoberna's First Nations Reserve. Okay.
Oh.
The more you know. I wasn't aware of that.
Very cool.
I wasn't aware of that. Throw your Q&As in there, folks. Let's get your
questions.
Let's get your questions in there.
Is that what you were gonna say?
No, I'm reading the chat while I'm trying to. Guys, the chat. See, I don't know how fast it moves on YouTube, but I can tell you on this end, it's like boom, straight up the street. Wow, is that how Trump says it? I was sitting here looking at the chat. Wow, just move like that. I said, "Do not come." It just came. I'm gonna come.
That's okay. No questions.
There's no questions.
Nobody cares. Question, Andrea.
Oh, at one time you said you were going to talk about investing. Have you done that, or are you going to do it? That I missed it. So the market really wasn't in good shape for me to talk about it.
Hasn't really picked up a lot either.
It has lately, and you know what? We'll maybe get into those streams on locals when we get locals going.
Yeah.
The problem I have with talking about stocks is, while they've been profitable on my end, and again, I have someone who tells me where to put it and when to pull it out. That's what she said. I just there's a certain bit of guilty conscience that comes into, you know, I'm comfortable gambling what I put into investments, that I would really hate to give people financial advice. And then, you know, maybe they're tucking in money that maybe they don't have to invest, that they're hoping for a quick return, and something doesn't work out the way we want it to. I really would hate to feel the guilt that somebody lost money by advice that I gave them. So I'm kind of struggling if I want to continue doing that, or if I, you know, maybe just back off from it, but we'll see how it goes. Smith has her clearance, good or bad? It's bad. No politician should have clearance to do anything. Your business needs to remain your business. I don't think any government should have the right to look into you.
Like 3 questions under there too.
Habema is near Meskwakis.
Okay.
Okay, good. So I lived in Calgary for 30 years. I don't know northern Alberta or even central Alberta very well. because we kind of just stayed in our own little bubble. So good to know those things. Dead Winter, when Alberta votes for independence, how long will it take until Alberta's officially a republic so I can visit from the US? So there's currently, Keith Wilson had said that he was in the works with think tanks and other reputable individuals to talk about a 3-month plan to get Alberta out. I guess it's all up in the air to see what happens. You got to remember that there is no definitive timeline for these things. It's never happened before in Canada. Nobody's ever left. So essentially, if Alberta leaves, it would be the first time.
It's kind of new.
It's foreign territory. So we'd kind of have to hope for the best. When are you buying Tiffany a larger tiara? I'll tell you what, as soon as we get a $1,000 super chat, I will get Tiffany. I will get Tiffany a new tiara there, because that'll never happen.
It won't happen.
So what we got here? Dustin. Mrs. Fringe, did you take Mr. Fringe out on a date night?
Mr. Fringe doesn't take me out on dates. We have kids.
See The Devil Wears Prada too?
We have kids. We have nobody to babysit.
You're not going to Paris. That'll be all. Goodbye. No, I don't want to see that. Nope. I had to sit through the first one. Won't do it again. Although I did like Stanley Tucci in that movie. I like any movie with Stanley Tucci. He's a really good actor. Kurt Van Patten question, what are the polls saying these days? Well, the polls are good. If you're to believe the ones conducted by Rebel News.
Yeah.
Rebel News had said that they found that 49% of First Nations they surveyed stand with independence, and that over 60% of UCP voters that they surveyed are a definitive yes for independence. So things are looking good. Things are looking good on our end. What else do we have here? Question. Do you know what Donald Trump took 20 of the most powerful American CEOs to China? Pretty awesome stuff, don't you think?
Did he leave them there?
It's great for America.
Yeah.
And like people who criticize Trump and say, I don't like what he's doing, I don't like him very much. They don't understand. He's pro-America. He just wants to leave a good mark on America. And, and anybody's there's gonna be people who disagree with that. Disagree all you like. I wish we had that kind of government here. I wish we had somebody here who was looking out for our best interests, who actually went to China and came back with something beneficial for us instead of giving everything away. That would be nice. Will locals have a super chat or buy a coffee to support? So locals, by getting a membership on locals, it is directly supporting the channel. So what we're doing with locals, folks, for anybody who's in here and doesn't know about the locals, it's expanding what we're doing with Unacceptable Fringe. Streams will be the same. Content will be the same on the channel. However, with the suppression we're seeing and everything else.
YouTube won't change.
Yeah, YouTube stays the same. But what we're trying to do is expand so that we can try and keep up the revenue we were making before YouTube cut everything in half. So essentially what happens is that we're charging people $10 a month. But what you get is these live streams, once I figure that out, over at Locals, commercial free. So ad free, because Locals doesn't do ads. So you get those streams ad free. We're also going to have extra shows that are exclusive to Locals, uncensored shows where, again, when we talk about people that, get screwed over by denialism, people who take jibby jabs, thing you can't talk about on YouTube, we can have uncensored streams over there.
We were talking about doing a call-in live show as well.
Call-in live show at some point. And not only on top of that, folks, if we reach 2,000 members, I'm going to start putting podcasts in audio format so that you can download them straight from Locals and listen to them at your office,
on the way.
in your vehicle, wherever you are. You don't always have to watch the video format. You can listen to it that way, and you're supporting the channel by getting a membership there. And we get to keep those profits so that we can pay Mike, we can pay Matt, we can keep the lights on.
Do I get paid?
You'll eventually get paid. You get paid by getting to keep me. That's the payment. God, that's like winning the lottery. But the benefit, folks, is you're helping keep the lights on. You're supporting the content directly, and we don't have to worry about YouTube at that point.
Yep.
What you'll see with the YouTube channel, in turn, is a huge pivot where we can actually start doing different content on the show than just Alberta or just Mark Carney. We can start talking about American politics. We can start talking about other things that might risk our views on the channel or risk how we get put out in the algorithm because we're making a guaranteed income over at locals. So that's the difference with locals. It's direct funding from our viewing audience so that we can take some more risks and give you better content. If my showrunners are getting paid to be here, they can produce more content for you as well. And we'll keep all of that to locals so that you're getting what you're paying for. Everything here will remain as it was. So you don't have to worry about things going away or us putting things behind a paywall. It's support for the channel and you get extra. So we're expanding the Fringe. As soon as I have that going, I'm hoping by Monday, I won't have content this weekend. If I do, it'll be very brief content. I'll try and take the majority of this weekend to learn locals so we can maybe make an announcement on Monday. Honda, question. You're doing a t-shirt giveaway. You missed the double giveaway on Wednesday. So we did 2 shirts on Wednesday and I'm going to do 2 tonight. That was what we discussed on Wednesday because we weren't going to do 4 shirts on Wednesday.
No, it was too much.
People would come in here on Friday and say, how come you're not doing shirts on Friday? Keep in mind that when people super chat and do different things, I have to wait a month to get that money in order to pay for the shirts we give away.
So,
and I also have to claim them as tax. There's a lot of spending that goes on with that. And they run about $50 a shirt by the time we're done sending them out. So when you start giving away 5-6 shirts a stream,
we can cover them,
it adds up. Who's the most famous person you've met?
Stanley.
Stanley. I mean, I talked with Stanley numerous times when he was still alive. I worked on my first novel. Before I got into making funny kids books, I had a novel come out before COVID. And I had character development help from Stan Lee on that because he found it interesting. I met him at the Calgary Comic-Con back in, 2013?
Yep.
And he liked my work. I asked him if I could show him my work, and he invited me to the Palliser Hotel in Calgary, and we sat down and talked, and he gave me his contact information, and
we chatted for a bit.
We had a really good relationship. He was a really nice man. He always, oh, geez, I really like what you're doing here. I love your comics. I love your novels. Stan was great. In fact, do you want to grab the gift from Stan down at the bottom? It's in the middle of the shelf there behind the G.I. Joe stuff at the bottom. Middle. Down here. You're going to the right. This is middle. Your directions are off. It's right on top of that box.
Oh.
So when I was working with Stan, I was essentially at the time launching. What?
You have too much stuff.
I was writing a novel series that was basically for teens. It was like a Harry Potter series.
With superheroes.
So it was going to be a 5-book series. And
I'm still waiting for book 2.
I know. We got caught up in YouTube and other things. But when I was launching the book, we sat down with Stan. And I said to him, and it was just before, it was right around a couple months before he passed.
Yeah.
And I was in a conversation with him, and I said, if some people who've been here a long time know this story. I said to Stan, we spent all this time talking about my stuff. I've only got to briefly talk to you about Marvel stuff and all the cool stuff.
He did talk about Spider-Man with you and the building of the character and all that.
He talked about his time in World War II.
Yeah.
He talked about, because he was a journalist in the Second World War, and he talked about how he worked alongside like Dr. Seuss and others who were journalists in the World War as well. He met his wife. He enlisted underage, and basically just part of the reason he wanted to work with me was because I told him that I was investing in a project, and my wife had stood behind it, and it reminded him of when he wanted to make the Fantastic Four. And he said to his wife, I'm doing these newspaper comics. It's not working out. And she said, do what you want to do for one comic. If it doesn't work out, quit, walk away. And he was going to be, what was it, an accountant?
Yep.
I think he said.
Something like that.
And he made the Fantastic Four, and it was a hit. So because his wife stood behind him, he was able to do everything he did at Marvel Comics.
You had that too.
But that's what he liked about us. And that's why he said, I want to work with you and help you out. Now, when we talked about things, I said, the times we've got to spend together in person, I've never had you sign anything. And it makes me sad because, I'm not going to be able to get to LA, and he was done traveling at that point because of his health. He says, well, let me send you something. And I joked and said, send me a copy of Amazing Fantasy, which is first appearance of Spider-Man. And he said, no. But I said to him, send me anything besides Captain Marvel. Anything. I said, I don't want to be insulting. Captain Marvel's OP. She's white bread, boring. She's been rebooted like 1 million times because people can't tell her story properly. She's not relatable. And I said, it's kind of like, because Stanley always had a gripe with Superman. So he said, okay, I'll send you something. And he passed away about 3-4 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I was
Shortly
really
after.
heartbroken by it. My last phone call with him was me telling him we had the book finished and we were going to send him a copy. And Tiffany intercepted a package and he passed away in October, and she saved it for Christmas. And that was the year my mom got diagnosed with cancer. And I was really down that year because we had pre-made plans to spend that Christmas with Tiffany's family. So that was a Christmas where we weren't sure if I was going to get another Christmas with my mom. And we spent that Christmas with Tiff's family, but Tiff thought, hey, I'll save this package, because she knew what it was. It came from Marvel over at Stan. Well, it had the Marvel logo on it. It came from California. Obviously, it was Stan. But she gave it to me Christmas morning, and I opened this box where I said, I don't want anything Captain Marvel. And inside of it was this Civil War II comic,
Captain Marvel, with
Stan Lee's signature at the bottom, Captain Marvel front and center. So Stan Lee trolled me with one final gift, and I'll never get rid of this comic. Just because it has that much sentimental value to me. Not only for the time I got to spend with Stan, but the guy was so classic at the troll. He was a really nice man. And I was really grateful for the time that we got to spend with each other and talk. But I mean, we've met a lot of famous people. I mean, we've met Theo, Sarah Palin, Jordan Peterson, Dr. Peterson. I mean, we've hung out with him every time he's come to Calgary.
There's been a few people.
God, what a ride it's been. I mean, I got to go meet Pierre in the house and all those MP. I guess they're not really famous, but the last few years have been a wild ride. And it's been a lot of fun, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But they always say never meet your heroes, but Stan was one that I was always happy to meet, and he loved his fans. And part of the reason he wanted to work with me was he says, I don't get to walk around these shows. I don't get to see people's work. I don't get to participate because I get mobbed as soon as I do.
And with his new company, like he sold Marvel.
He sold Marvel and founded POW Entertainment.
Yeah,
they were more the animation end of things for Marvel.
So he said he could have helped you with your book if it was a graphic novel, but that's not what you wanted to do.
No, but he did help me. He put me in touch with a manager.
Yep.
A literary agent, and we got the book published. So it worked out.
McDonald got to meet Mr. Dress Up.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm jealous.
That's awesome. He says it's a shame you couldn't have Charlie Kirk on the channel. So I spoke with, Charlie Kirk in an email chain.
Yes.
It was through Dave Rubin and a bunch of other guys. And I would have loved to have got him in there at one point. That would have
been amazing.
But unfortunately, it didn't happen. That was back when we were talking to Jeremy Hambley over at the Quartering. He got me into that crowd. I haven't talked to Jeremy in ages, and I've heard about all the stuff that's going on with him. So
it's best to stay out of somebody else's drama.
I'm going to stay out of that drama altogether. But Jeremy Hambley introduced us to Dave Rubin and those guys. And
if I got to meet Mr. Dress Up, that's kind of a brag.
That's a brag.
That is a huge brag.
I'd put him up there with Stan Lee.
Huge Canadian brag.
Look, Igor popped in, becoming a new member of the Patriots Club. Thank you,
Sweet,
Igor.
thank you.
Welcome to the Patriots Club. That's amazing. That's wonderful. I got to say, I know a lot of realtors in Calgary, but none like Igor. If you guys need a house, you guys want to get a wonderful house.
So someone did ask a question way up there, that there's a rally at the end of May.
Apparently there's going to be a rally. Keep your ears on the ground. I'll let you know when I hear about something. I haven't heard about anything yet. I've heard rumor that something's going to be organized through Mitch. You should get Ben Bankus on the show. So I've chatted with Ben a few times passing by on X.
Yeah.
He's retweeted me a few times, and, I've told him I'm a big fan and stuff. Maybe if we can, I'd love to get Ben on the show. That would be cool. Phoebe says I'm related to Carol Burnett. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Did you see the one next to it? Under it?
What would happen if you had Justin Trudeau on your channel? No, come on.
No, the one under that. I met Robin Williams.
If I had Justin Trudeau on the channel, I'd just laugh at him. That's it. Yvette, I met Robin Williams. Mr. Dress Up was at
That's
7-Eleven
unreal.
checkout next to my brother. Wow, that's cool. Robin Williams.
Legend.
He's the GOAT.
Yep.
You know, I always wanted, it's part of what got me into YouTube. I always wanted to be like Robin Williams
Well, you
growing
wanted
up
to
as
be
a kid.
comedian. You
So
tried.
when I was 11 years old, back when cassette tapes were still a thing, CDs were on the market as well, but I didn't have a CD player yet. I went to an HMV in Canada. God, who remembers HMV? And I picked up a copy of Robin Williams Live at the Met. An amazing stand-up performance from Robin Williams, because I wanted to be a comedian when I was a kid. I always wanted to make people laugh. I wanted to entertain people. And I listened to that tape every single day for probably 2 years straight. And I had to listen to it at night when my parents were in bed, because if they heard the things coming out of Robin's mouth, they'd be, where'd you get that? What are you listening to? But he was so inspirational as a kid. I absolutely love Robin Williams. He's a legend. I was so sad when I heard that he passed. Steve Jensen with the $5 super. It's supposed to be the mother of all rallies. Looking for suitable location for the event.
Oh.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
I hope it is. There was
Hopefully
this
it's
cool
in the
thing.
area. We can go.
There was this cool thing I wanted to get. I'm going to show it to you guys because it would just look so silly, but at the same time, so awesome. So I wanted to get one of these. I saw it on Amazon the other day. I'll just bring up this image. They had it in the Alberta blue color as well. I wanted to get one of these awesome furred Viking robes in the Alberta blue with the Alberta shield from the flag
The gold
embroidered into the back of it, and then wear it on to the stage at the rally to get everybody jacked for independence. And then I said, no, I don't want to make a mockery out of what's going on.
I think
it's not going to happen, but it would have been fun. It would have been fun just to have some fun with it and have a laugh. But I don't think anybody would have, everybody would have jumped on that. They would have seen it as a little cringe and weird. Alberta Independence, the $2 super, met Mark Addy from Full Monty. Super nice guy. That's awesome. That's awesome. I got to get some super chats done, and then we're going to do a draw. We'll do a draw because we've gone way over time. Carnivalism.
That name.
When Alberta separates, which I believe it will, can we just audit these chiefs and get rid of them? So David over at, if you want to get a start on it, David over at Moose on the Loose, he did an amazing job talking about whatever the chief was.
He's really good at digging.
I keep forgetting his name. It was David something. I don't, or whatever's. I don't like him, so I don't know his name, but Chief Sunshine, I think it is, or whatever chief it is, the one who was all over the news. I'm sure people are typing it in the chat as I see it. Go check it out because it really starts showing his finances and where they go. He took 50 grand from Tides to downplay the oil industry, and now they're suing Alberta for oil. Like, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, we should audit them all.
Yeah.
Mr. Alberta being a member for 5 months, $500 is the biggest super chat. I tried.
Oh, darn.
Oh, jeez.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, I'll tell you what. If we get a $500 super
No.
chat, I'll get Mrs. Fringe a tiara. No, that's not me e-begging. It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to give
Mrs. Fringe doesn't need a tiara.
Nobody's going to give a $500 super chat, so you don't need a tiara. It's not happening. Maple Kitty with a $7 super. Buying veterans shirts. Is there a promo code for veterans? Unfortunately, there isn't. But again, it's going to veterans. I don't set the prices. I don't set the codes, or I would. Again, if you use the QR code on the screen, it takes you straight to the store. Get any of the independence shirts with the 10 reasons for Alberta to leave on the back. Be a walking billboard. Support independence. Again, it's all going to charity. We're not taking profits. We just want the conversation getting started.
Yep.
There's David with a $2 super. So does that mean Matt can be himself? No. We're not going down that road.
Matt has a foul mouth.
Green Giant with a $7 super. Just to clarify, just south of Wetaskiwin is a reserve that used to be called Hobema or Hobima. But when they changed to native names, it became Meskwakis.
Okay, thank you.
I've seen that on Highway 2. Lee with a $2 super. Question in normal comments.
Okay, thank you.
I'll try and get to that if I can. Lee, I've missed the question.
I'm sorry.
When I'm done the super chats, put them back in. Put the question back in, and I'll try to get to it. I won't be able to scroll all the way back up. Major Flip with a $2. Don't forget the shirt giveaway. I got it.
We're gonna forget.
We got it. I appreciate, because Major Flip actually was the one who donated to that, so I appreciate it.
We will not forget.
I won't forget. Lynn with a $7 super. How did you choose Unacceptable Fringe as a name? What does it mean? So when we published How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom, I thought it was only going to sell a couple copies. We didn't have any anticipation of it going as viral as it did. And then one day we wake up and it's in the National Post and everybody's talking about it. And news stations were calling our house.
Oh, it was crazy.
Asking for interviews all of a sudden. I don't know how they got my information, even though everybody's complaining about data leaks these days. But nonetheless, we were just blown away. And when we started seeing some of the residuals that were coming in, we knew that the government was either going to tax us to death or we had to incorporate. So I spoke with my father because he's had a home business for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'll help you get started. We sat down with an accountant. And while we were getting things started, they said, what do you want to call the company? And I kind of blanked for a second. And I started thinking, like, what's something that the federal government is really going to hate that they have to look at every year when I file my taxes? And I kept thinking about Justin Trudeau saying small fringe minority with unacceptable views.
Yeah.
And I just said unacceptable fringe. And they said, okay. And they put it down and it kind of just stuck from there.
I love it.
We started calling our company Unacceptable Fringe Books and it transitioned into YouTube.
Yep.
So it was always meant to be that slap at Justin Trudeau. That's what started it. And look where we are now. Top of the world, Ma. It's Steve Jensen being a member for 5 months. Let's hit 1,000 likes. I think we did.
Thank you.
I think we hit it. Thank you for that, Steve. I'm sure that was before, obviously. Alberta Pin with a $10 super. If you decide to do a call-in, I have a golden phone for you. Oh my God. Golden toilet would be good. That's
No.
What else do we have here? Lori with a $7 super. I used to live down the road from John Candy. He was an amazing man, such a gentleman. Breaks my heart thinking he passed away so young.
He was
Mine
so
as well.
amazing, yeah.
I feel bad for John Candy.
He was
Yes,
also a
Chief
legend.
Alan Adam. That's it. Chief Alan Adam.
Thank you.
Chief Who Cares? That's what Mark Carney should call him. Thank you, Steve, for the $2 on that. Will Morris, get a neon fringe sign.
Yes.
So this sign behind me,
Yes.
Mike Freedom Honey, my Monday night co-host, built this alongside one of his friends.
It's amazing.
He built it when we moved here.
Amazing work. Yeah.
And we had a meet and greet when we had the sign given to us in Edmonton. And we had everybody there sign the back of that sign. So behind this sign is a whole bunch of signatures from our community because we said that the sign belongs to the community and we wouldn't have it without them. So I'm actually really proud of this sign. I don't think we'll get a neon one because I'll put some neon lights behind the sign.
Yeah, you should light it up somewhere. It's
When
really dark.
when we move the studio again, we'll get it done.
I was gonna say it's gonna be the last move, but it's not.
Steve Jensen, will you settle for a gold-plated toilet? As long as it's real gold and I can melt it down, no problem. No problem. Let's get to our giveaways. I know Major Flip's probably having an aneurysm. Again, thank you to Major Flip.
Thank you
for that very generous
So we have
donation.
2 giveaways on t-shirts tonight.
2 shirts we're going to give away. Let's go. You would have looked like Liberace in that
right
that robe, the Viking robe. Yeah.
You know what he really wanted was the fur jacket from the Barbie movie.
The one with the horses.
Yes.
The mink coat with the horses, so we could talk about the
patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
I would have loved that.
Just for the jokes, for the lulls. Let me get the old wheel started. Edward IY4MI. I know there's probably a meaning behind that, but that's how I'm saying it. Edward IY4MI. Is Edward still in the chat? I'm not singing that, but thank you, Paniner, for the $2 super. Is Edward still in the chat? Edward's here. Edward,
whoop, whoop.
You're our first winner. Congratulations. Hang in here. I'm going to give you your information
Stick
in a
around.
second. Let me spin again. Let's see who we land on. Let's see who we get. Sorry, why is it stalling? Tina Brenner. Tina Brenner. Tyna. Tina Brenner. Is Tina still in here? Is Tina still here? Tina Brenner. Come on, Tina. We're going to give you a minute to chime in. I know people left the stream while we were talking about Stan Lee.
Yeah.
So, as soon as we stop with the politics, everybody's just, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, okay, we're done.
We're done. See ya. It's too bad they missed out on that. Yes, Tina's here. There we go. Congratulations, Tina.
We got our 2 winners.
2 winners. We got 2 winners tonight. There we go. Both of you head over to the shop. Again, use the QR code, or you can always just go into one of our videos and hit the shop button down below the video. It'll take you straight to the store. And you've won, well, 2 choices, I guess. If you're a veteran, you can pick up our Veterans for Independence shirt, or I support Alberta independence. Pick out either t-shirt you like. We have to make them t-shirts. Yes, they're expensive. Pick out the size, color you want, and people, I always have to say this because for some reason it always loads the American
size, color,
store.
and style.
Size, color, and style of the shirt you want. Send it to me. Email unacceptablefringeyt@gmail.com within 24 hours. Let me know what you've chosen out of the t-shirts. And I'll send those to you right away, along with tracking information. So thank you so much.
Please add your number. It's just for shipping purposes.
We need a phone number at the
only.
end because they do need that phone number in case
We
they
won't
lose your
stalk
shipment.
you.
It's a third party that makes these,
Yeah.
so they have to get in touch with you. Keep in mind, for anybody going to the store, this is the American price for t-shirts. It is a little bit more for these shirts. So anybody who says, hey, it says 27 on the stream,
it's not.
It's American. I'm sorry, it boots into the US store every time. Congratulations to our winners tonight.
Yeah.
Make sure you contact me within 24 hours or else I'm forced to redraw and choose somebody else. Thank you again to Major Flip for doing that. Really appreciate it. Look at Tony Shaw. I will pay for the robe. It's $20 super. I'm very grateful, Tony. I will not be looking like Liberace. It was just a joke. I appreciate it though. Thank you so much. Idiot Tube with a $2 CA.
Thank you.
Doesn't that mean Canada? No, Alberta. Put AB. I'm just kidding. It's been a great show tonight. You guys have been fabulous. You guys are wonderful. I got to
Have
admit.
a great long weekend here
Bigly.
in Canada, Alberta.
This audience is bigly wonderful. I think you're amazing. I love that you were here for the stream. I think it's wonderful. I had so many people in here tonight listening to us talk about Danielle and the politics and Stanley, wonderful guy. Rest in peace, Stan. Guys, join me Monday with Mike here in the Forge. Again, I'll try and have some content over the weekend. It'll be very brief if we do any. Support us over at Buy Me a Coffee until Locals is live if you can. Buy Me a Coffee goes straight to the channel. It doesn't mean 30% to YouTube. So help us out there if you can. Again, if we're going to take a break from content over the weekend, boy, it sure helps. I don't like e-begging, but
no,
YouTube's cut us in half. I kind of have to mention it now. Helps us keep the lights on. So from myself, from Mrs. Fringe, from everybody here in the stream tonight, have a wonderful evening.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming. Thank you to everybody who super chatted, everybody who became a member, everybody who was just chatting in the stream. Again,
Yes.
I go back and I do look at all the
All of
comments
them.
throughout the stream. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weather. If it's nice where you are, folks, we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.